I would see text messages like, I wish you were here looking.
I know you don't blame me. You think I'm a liar.
We are back with another Catfish video, and we are back with Max. And to say that he hates one of the main characters in this episode would be quite the understatement, okay? This is season 5, episode 12, Vince and Alyssa. The episode starts off with a very dramatic email from Vince in Ohio. He claims that his online ex-girlfriend Alyssa is ruining his current in real life relationship with Liz. He met Alyssa in about 2013 when she added him on Facebook randomly. They were texting and talking all of the time, and they eventually fell in love. They never tried to video chat, but he claims that he tried to meet Alyssa over 20 times. Child, if I tried to meet someone over 20 times and they didn't want to meet me, it's over, dog, it's done. But despite her never wanting to meet, he kept pursuing a relationship with her, and he claimed that things were going well until Alyssa began to get very controlling and very jealous, which led to them fighting all of the time. After a year of this, he ended the relationship. Only a few months after the breakup, he was already in a new relationship with Liz. Alyssa reached out and was upset to find out that he was already in said new relationship with Liz.
You are filth.
First of all, why can Alyssa still contact you, okay? Why are you even entertaining this girl whatsoever? But when Alyssa contacted him being all jealous and crazy, Vince decided that it was a good idea to try and be friends with Alyssa. Okay. Throw this man in the trash expeditiously. This is so disrespectful to Liz and their relationship. Y'all already know how I feel about being friends with exes. That's just not a thing that I will co-sign personally for anybody I'm dating. But to try and be friends with an ex who still has feelings for you and is upset that you moved on is just absolutely ridiculous. Vince says that not long after that, Alyssa crossed the line, as if she didn't already cross the line in the first place, but she began calling and texting constantly and actually started to confess her love for Vince once again, which, wow, shocking, right? Wow, who could have predicted that?
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offense.
Yeah.
Side eye.
I'm gonna call it right now. I fully believe that Vince is enthralled with the idea of having two women pining over him, two women going after him. He really likes that. He really enjoys the idea of two women wanting him when in reality, there shouldn't even be one woman who wants him. Can I get an amen? Liz then intervened and apparently tried to get Alyssa to back off, but Liz began questioning Vince's loyalty, and they actually broke up 5 days before the Catfish is reading this email. Liz needs to leave this man alone for good, okay? I should never be in a position where I have to create boundaries for my man and another person when he refuses to do so. And neither should she. Neither should you either. Vince claims that he wants to confront Alyssa so he can tell her that he wants her to be out of his life for good. I'm not buying that personally. I think he wants to meet her in person so he can weigh out his options and see who he really is going to be with. We hop on a video call with Vince, and Neve and Max immediately clown him about his breakup.
How are you?
Well, I'm doing great.
Are you? Didn't your girlfriend just break up with you?
Yeah, it seemed like you're not doing so great.
Alyssa apparently lives in Indiana, which is only about 3 hours away from where Vince lives, which makes all of this even more confusing. Vince says that he and Liz were together for about 1.5 years before Alyssa re-entered the picture. He claims that he tried to give Alyssa a hint that he didn't want her, but she wouldn't take it. That's a problem right there. There should be no hint. There should be no, oh, well, you know, I don't really want you and blah, blah, blah. It should be loud. It should be bold. It should be clear, kid. The guys question why he didn't just get a new phone number, why he didn't just block her. Vince doesn't answer the second part of that, but he says that he did get a new phone number and somehow Alyssa got that number too.
Be fucking for real.
Vince is very much painting himself as the victim in all of this, and I'm just having a hard time believing that. I'm having a hard time buying that narrative, that version of events. It could be true, but for right now, I'm gonna put all my money on it's not true. So they hop off the call and they head out to meet Vince in person. Vince says that the breakup hurts because they are still in love with each other. Vince claims that he has not been going behind Liz's back to do anything he should not have been doing. He also claims that he has been nothing but honest with Liz. Keep that in mind. Keep that locked in your mind, because that's what he said. Is it true? We don't know yet, but that's what he said. He says that his goal is to completely dead things with Alyssa and win Liz back in the process. Vince then tells us everything that went down between he and Alyssa. It's all very typical Catfish. Unfortunately, like her mom got breast cancer and died, and then Alyssa got the same kind of breast cancer, and Alyssa's family members were also contacting Vince, specifically her cousin Miranda. He says that things took a turn for the worst when Alyssa began to go through his friends list and telling him to block women who were contacting him.
She would look through my Facebook and tell me, you need to block this person because they're making contact with you.
He says that this was very controlling, this is very abusive of her. But, okay, listen, hear me out, hear me out. This may be a very controversial take, I don't really know, but I believe if your partner is uncomfortable with someone you have on social media, somebody you're interacting with, somebody who's interacting with you, I think they are allowed to voice that unease and they are able to ask you to block or unfollow that person. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Obviously within reason, if they're going through your friends list and they're just requesting that you block or get rid of like every single woman or every single man or every single person that they deem to be attractive, that is a problem. I think it's within reason, of course, but I don't think the act alone of asking your partner to block or unfollow someone is controlling. I think it's you being an adult and describing what you're uncomfortable with, what you're comfortable with, and what you don't want. That person doesn't have to oblige, and you also don't have to stay in that connection. That's just my opinion, that's just my take. But anyways, Vince says that Alyssa put him through hell. And about 3 or 4 months after the breakup, he met Liz, and we know how the rest goes. They just tell that story again, but y'all already heard it. I don't need to say it again. We then see pictures of Alyssa, and she just looks like a normal average girl, which could mean that she's real. It could also mean that she's not real and the person just didn't want to be an unrealistic catfish. Neve then says that he wants to talk to Liz before the crew heads out. In the car, Neve and Max both agree that Vince was in fact being catfished and that he might lose Liz either way. Personally, I think he deserves to lose Liz, but that's just my opinion. The next day, we hop right into our investigation and they start off by calling Liz. It goes right to voicemail, so they decide to just leave her a message asking her to call them back. We then head to Alyssa's Facebook page and they see in one of the pictures, she's wearing a Sacramento t-shirt, which makes them very excited.
Sacramento. Sacramento.
We got a lead.
We got a lead.
I think they think it's like a big hint. It's a big clue, and it could be. It definitely could be, but I also know that like I have a lot of t-shirts with the names of places on that I don't live.
Clock it.
Moving on. We then see a picture of Alyssa laying down on a grave. There is a name on the tombstone, so they decide to Google that name, try and figure out who it is. They find an obituary. It says that he lived and passed away in Sacramento, and when it lists out all the relatives that he left behind, there is a niece named Alyssa, but this niece has a different name than the one that Vince has for her. They take that full name, they search it on Facebook, and they find the real page right away. We find out that the real Alyssa in the photos lives in Sacramento, and the page says that she is married to someone named Robert. At this point, it's unclear if this is real marriage or just Facebook marriage. Like, you know how y'all used to do that? Y'all, I say that like I wasn't a part of it. How we all used to do that in like middle school. You just marry your friends on Facebook. It's just a thing that you did. But again, unclear. The guys then send her a message asking her to reach out. They then search the phone number that Vince has for Alyssa, and it comes back linked to someone named Miranda. Miranda, remember, that's the cousin who was allegedly talking to Vince when Alyssa was in the hospital fighting breast cancer, okay? I know it's confusing. Please do your best to keep up. I'm gonna do my best to explain. We then get a video call from the real Alyssa. She says that she loves the show, but she's not surprised to hear from them because her pictures have been used by a catfish a time or two before.
It actually doesn't surprise me that someone's using my pictures because it's happened to me before.
They fill her in and she confirms that she has not been speaking to Vince and she doesn't know anyone named Miranda. She confirms that she is happily married. They thank her for her time and then they hop off the call. As they are debriefing what just happened, they get a message from Liz and she agrees to meet them the next day at a cute cafe. We are finally getting a cute cafe, child. I'm awaiting. They high five and say that they solved it.
We solved it.
But I don't think they solved at this point. I don't think anything is really figured out besides the fact that he is being catfished, which duh. Like, come on. But the next day they meet up with Liz as promised. She is a very cute girl, but she does seem very sad, understandably so. We then hear bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb being dropped from Liz. The first of which is she tells us that Alyssa was never out of Vince's life. She was always present. They were always talking throughout their entire relationship, which is, oh wow, shocking. Vince lied. I'm not shocked. But let's see what else he's been lying about, shall we?
A scheme that Todd set up.
Liz says that she would see explicit text messages between Alyssa and Vince all of the time.
I wish you were here looking. How am I supposed to react to this?
Really?
Yes.
She then says that cousin Miranda reached out to her directly to question how her and Vince's relationship was going.
Damn.
Liz then gets emotional when speaking about their breakup, which is understandable. Breakups are hard, even if you were dating a piece of shit. She says that she was very confused when she heard that Catfish was about to be involved because she was under the impression that Vince and Alyssa had already met, that they knew each other in person, that their relationship was in person.
Told you that he had dated her in real life?
And met her and all this stuff.
I wonder what would make her think that, right? Vince's lying ass. That's what made her think that. She then gets very upset in terms of like crying, not in terms of rage, but I would understand if she was angry when thinking about how Vince lied to her their whole relationship. He even went as far to tell her in-depth stories about times that he had been with Alyssa in person, things about going to her family's house, and that her aunt had like a really nice big house.
Multiple stories about being with her.
Like, he told me, like, he went to her aunt's house, and her aunt's house is nice. And all of it's a lie.
Their dates, etc. He was coming up with these detailed lies, which is crazy, okay? Neve, I don't know why he keeps going out of his way to stick his neck out for Vince, but he does this throughout the episode and I don't particularly like it.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Neve tries to give Vince a pass on lying about in-person meetings with Alyssa out of embarrassment. He tries to say that Vince is a victim, he has been taken advantage of, and he encourages Liz to give him another shot. A lie is a lie is a lie is a lie. I don't care what the reason is. I don't care. I don't care if it was a big lie, if it was a little lie is a lie. You can't expect people to be okay with being lied to. Especially if Liz is not lying to him about anything. It's not ludicrous for her to expect honesty in return. I don't care why the lie was told. It was a lie nonetheless. If he was so embarrassed about the fact that he had this online relationship with Alyssa, then wouldn't he cut it off instead of continuing to talk to her
quickly
throughout the time that he's also talking and in a relationship with Liz?
What's not clicking?
Your embarrassment does not absolve you of responsibility, accountability. It doesn't.
I wish you nothing but the worst. I'm not healed, I'm simply contained.
Also, broken trust is so hard to rebuild, and at this point, Vince lied to Liz and he lied to Neve and Max. So why Neve is riding for him so hard is very confusing. I understand that he sees himself in a lot of these people who are catfish victims, but when they're bad people, they're bad people. You can have bad things happen to you and still not be a good person. It doesn't mean that what happened to you was any less bad, but it doesn't also make you a good person. It doesn't make you any better for having bad things happen to you. Enough of my ranting. They thank Liz for meeting with them, they say their goodbyes, and then they head out to meet with Vince once again. Vince claims to not be the type of guy to keep secrets, but he says that he was embarrassed and he didn't want to be judged, and that's his kind of explanation for why he lied to Liz about meeting with Alyssa, about talking to her for the entirety of their relationship. He claims that the little white lie he told just made things bad. I don't believe in a little white lie. I really don't. A lie is a lie. So like, of course that paired with everything else would make your girl less likely to trust you. That's common sense, I fear. The guys fill Vince in on the findings of their investigation. He seems upset to find out that Alyssa is married, but Max makes it real clear, real quick that he wasn't talking to the girl in the pictures anyways. So like, you don't need to be upset because that's not who you're talking to.
She's married.
What the?
This is not the person you're talking to.
I think Vince getting upset in this moment is also telling. I think he's telling on himself because yes, you would be upset if you found out you're being catfished, but I also think he's now thinking, okay, so the person who I ruined my in real life relationship for is not even the person who I thought it was, so that makes it really not worth it, right? Like he was being a low down dirty dog with the sexting and stuff, but in his mind it was worth it because this might be a real person who I can pursue a relationship with. But now that it's not the person in the picture, he's mad because he wasted all that time and messed up things with Liz. That's my theory anyways. They show him a recording of the video call that they had with the real Alyssa, and as soon as she confirms that she hasn't been talking to Vince, he gets heated, says he needs to take a break, and then storms outside for a cigarette. After he comes back to the table, Neve steps away to give the catfish a call. She answers the phone right away and Neve is asking for Miranda. the cousin, who we now believe is the catfish, okay? She says, no, this is Alyssa.
I'm looking for Miranda.
This is Alyssa.
The hell is even that?
Girl, the jig is up. You've been caught. The jig is up. We know that you're not Alyssa. Neve briefly fills her in on what's been going on, including that they know that she is not Alyssa. He says that he wants to bring Vince and Miranda together, and Miranda asks if Vince has yet broken up with his girlfriend and questions why Vince would need to see her if he has a girlfriend, which honestly, that's very valid. That's a good question. Miranda eventually agrees to meet and then they hop off the call. But back inside, Vince is upset and rambling. And through all of this rambling, Max becomes a little bit suspicious of Vince's real intentions for doing this. Vince says that now he knows he will never have a relationship with Alyssa.
I know that I would never have a relationship with Alyssa.
What an odd thing to say.
Max says, okay, but this was never about having a relationship with Alyssa, right?
But this wasn't about you having a relationship with Alyssa, was it?
To which Vince rambles some more, does not give a straight answer at first, but then says, yeah, you're right. I was just doing this so I could get back with Liz. I'm not buying that. I wasn't buying that at the beginning and I'm really not buying it now. But the crew and Vince then head out to Jasper, Indiana, and in the car, Vince is acting really weird.
I can't wait to look her eye to eye and say, Miranda, you sit on a throne of lies.
He really thought he ate with that, but look at his smile, his creepy smile, and look at how Neve and Max didn't respond at all. When Vince says this, Neve and Max do not react at all, which makes me think that they now know that he also sits on a throne of lies. That same night, Miranda sent Vince an address and a time to meet up for the next day. The next day, the guys meet up and Vince paints himself again very much as a victim by saying that he has been mentally abused and manipulated for far too long.
You seem like a liar, Squidward.
I never want to downplay when somebody has been manipulated and abused. However, I am just not buying Vince's version of events because he has proven himself to not be a reliable narrator. But they then head out to meet who they believe to be Miranda. Neve wastes no time trying to peek in windows and then does a very demure knock on the door, all things considered, how he normally knocks. The catfish comes out right away and Vince immediately looks pissed. We see that it is in fact Miranda. She says that it's very hard to talk to people as herself, and she didn't catfish to hurt him, but she is sorry. Vince then blames Miranda for his recent breakup with Liz and says that Miranda hurt both he and Liz. A lying liar who lies. Miranda then says that everything she told Vince was true apart from the pictures, so Neve goes, oh, okay, so your mom did really die of breast cancer recently? She says, oh no, that part was not true. Girl, don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. She then reiterates, okay, well, everything but the pictures and my mom dying of cancer was true. And Max says, okay, so you now have cancer? She says, oh no, that's not true either.
Girl.
This has both Neve and Max heated.
So then everything's not true.
Well, that part. It's crazy because they're so mad at Miranda for lying, but they didn't have that same smoke when they found out that Vince was lying. But we'll get there. Max asks why she didn't just leave him alone when he started dating Liz, and Miranda says that she did lie, about the things, but Vince is not innocent in this because he has been flirting with her ever since he and Liz got together. Not only that, but she has the text messages to prove it.
But he's not innocent. He has flirted with me ever since he has been dating Liz, and I have text messages to prove that.
Y'all, I knew this man was full of shit. I feel like I could sniff out when a man is full of shit. I knew it. Dropping this bomb in this way was very gaggy of her, and I'm super here for it. I feel like right now it seems as if my stance is on the side of the catfish, and I don't think the catfish did anything wrong. And I want to clarify that's not the case. I think that both people are wrong in this situation. She's wrong for catfishing and lying and interfering in this relationship, but he's also wrong for being a low-down dirty dog. So it makes it a lot harder to feel bad for him because he is such a low-down dirty dog. Does that make her catfishing right? Absolutely not. Does that make her being the other woman right? Absolutely not. But do any of those things cancel out anything that Vince did? Do any of those things make Vince innocent? Also, absolutely not. She says that Vince was actually sexting her and said that he would break up with Liz for her.
He texted me saying something about playing with his. He's told me that he would break up with Liz for me.
You done lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
Vince then admits to doing both of those things and then tries to say it's whatever. Max says, I don't think so. I don't think so. Max gets hot and he says it's not whatever. If you really love Liz, then you wouldn't be sending explicit wiener pictures. Vince then says, and this is one of the stupidest things I think I've ever heard anybody say on this show, and that's saying a lot because we've heard a lot of stupid things. He says that he wasn't trying to get any sexual conversation out of Miranda.
I wasn't trying to get any sexual conversation out of you.
Be so for real.
Creep squad? Creep squad?
There is no other reason why you would send pictures of your little Willie than for sexual reasons. There's literally no other reason. That's the only reason. Miranda is all smiles watching Vince get the verbal lashing that he deserves. And even though what she did was wrong, I don't want to downplay that. It's clear that Vince was not completely a victim as he painted himself out to be. But it seems like he was not only a willing participant, but a lust-filled cheater. Boo! Hate that for you. Neve then tells Vince not to act like he is better than any other guy because we're all the same.
Don't piss me off, for real.
Max is looking around like, who is we? Who are you talking? I know you're not talking about me. You are definitely not talking about me because I don't do that. I'm not a lying cheater.
We're all the same here, okay?
Yeah.
Wait, time out. I don't do that.
Max then says that Vince called the show because he wanted Alyssa out of his life. That was the premise. Because she was ruining his relationship with his girlfriend who he loved so much. And he says it just like that, which is pretty funny to me because he is very much trying not to blow up and he's kind of mocking the way that Vince portrayed the situation. Vince then gets mad, cuts Max off so that Max is making him look like an asshole. Max says, brother, you're doing that all yourself. That ain't got shit to do with me.
Come on, man, you're making me look like an ass.
You're kind of making yourself look pretty bad.
Max then says that Liz was absolutely right to be suspicious because obviously he was, cheating on her. Whether it was with a catfish or not, he was cheating on her. And Vince then tries to shift blame and responsibility, but Max is not having it at all. Neve then finds his voice, he intervenes, and he says that they should go back to the hotel and meet up another time. Once they're in the car getting ready to leave, Max is on Vince's like white on rice. He is not letting up, and rightfully so. Vince is acting like he's too cool for school, like he's hot when in reality, he's just Max tells him that when you're really in love, you don't do anything to compromise that because it will come out, and that's big facts. Vince then acts like, woe is me, oh my god, woe is me, like I'm the victim, when really he's not. Talking about, I should just stay single.
Maybe I should just stay single.
I know you're saying that so they can be like, no, you can try and win Liz back, blah, blah, blah. They don't say any of that. And I really do think that he should stay single or at least stay the hell away from Liz. The next day, Vince, Neve, and Max meet back up. Vince says that after they got back last night, he did reach out to Liz to own up to his infidelity. Do I think he wanted to do this? No. But do I think he wanted to try and do this in an effort to win her back before the show aired and she saw what really went on for herself? Yes. I don't think this was him being pure intention because if it was, he would have told her before this happened. Liz answered right away and basically told him to kick rocks, which good for her.
She said, I'm just done. I'm ready to live my life. Lesson learned, get out of my life.
Y'all, if you ever find out your partner is being disloyal, your partner has done some stuff like this to you, you need to be like Liz and get rid of him. Max encourages Vince to stay single, and Vince says that he doesn't want to be there when they speak to Miranda again because it just doesn't matter to him at all.
You got some splaining to do.
Interesting take. Personally, I think that this shows that his intentions for being on the show, being on Catfish, I think it shows that his intentions were not pure. He didn't really care about trying to get to the bottom of things. He is just worried about her confronting him. In my mind, this is what's going on. He's worried about Miranda confronting him about more of the things that he did that will make him look bad. He also now knows that Alyssa, who he was talking to, is actually Miranda. He's not attracted to Miranda. He's not going to pursue anything with her any longer. Liz also doesn't want him. So now he's like, okay, well, there's no point in me coming clean and doing any of this in the first place. You dirty, dirty man. But they say their goodbyes to Vince and then they head out to meet with Miranda. Miranda tells us that she was bullied a lot about her weight in school, and she began catfishing when she was only 14 years old. When the first guy that she catfished found out, he cried, and she says in a very defeated way that she's pretty sure she destroyed him.
I'm pretty sure I destroyed him.
Well, and we're gonna get into more of the things that she's been through and more of the things that she's thinking. While I understand these hard times, I understand why you'd want to escape and be somebody else, I don't think that any of the things that she has been through justifies what she did. At the end of the day, she still did lie to Vince. She was still a willing participant in helping Vince cheat on his girlfriend Liz. Even though she's not in commitment to Vince, Vince is in commitment to Liz, I still think it's wrong to knowingly participate in that emotional cheating and the sexual nature of the conversations when you know he has a girlfriend who has no idea about you. Max questions why she is so comfortable hurting other people when she has been on the receiving end of that, and she doesn't really have an answer. And so Neve says that if she can't get to the root of the problem, then she's likely to just keep catfishing. I can tell that the guys are really trying to help her, and they have a lot more empathy and compassion for her than they do for Vince in this moment. Well, at least Max does. I think Neve still had compassion and understanding and empathy for Vince, which I don't. Anyways, that's his business. But they are really trying to help her, which I can appreciate. She then cries and says that nobody understands or cares about the impacts of bullying. She says that catfishing makes her feel better about herself because to her, they are saying those really nice things to her, even though she is not the person in the picture. So it was like boosting her ego, boosting her confidence, basically. She says that her self-esteem has gotten so bad that she contacted a plastic surgeon from Miami on Snapchat to get some work done so she can feel better about herself.
I have contacted a guy that is in Miami and for plastic surgery.
I don't want this to turn into like a whole plastic surgery PSA or anything like that, but I will say self-worth issues are from within. If you don't feel like you're good enough, you don't feel like you're lovable, you don't feel like anybody wants to be friends with you or be around you or be in a relationship with you, plastic surgery is not going to fix that. It's not. For some reason, I think when people are in a position like Miranda, they have a hard time understanding that people that they deem to be physically attractive and hot also have those same problems. Those problems don't go away just because you look a certain way or you're a certain weight. So while the plastic surgery might make her, give her a little bit more of a confidence boost on the outside, it might not change how she feels on the inside. But Neve then goes and sits next to her and he makes light about the situation, but then takes it a little bit too far by saying that her kidneys are gonna end up missing.
Do not trust a weird plastic surgeon that you found on Snapchat from Miami. You'll end up in a bathtub with your kidneys missing.
He says that changing her looks won't change things internally. He reminds her that people will be willing to get to know her and have her around if she is contributing meaningful and positive things to the world. Max tells her that if she is really sorry, then she will stop catfishing. They share some warm hugs and they head out, and I really can appreciate the way that they held her accountable, but they were also empathetic to her situation. They didn't explain away or make her think it was okay what she did, but they also held space for her to voice her insecurities and how she's feeling and try to support her through that. I think they did a really good job with this part of the confrontation. In our 2-month follow-up, we see that Miranda has a new haircut. She says that she has not reached out to Vince and they have not spoken, and she has also not catfished since the last time they saw her. Do I believe her? I'm not sure, but that's what she said. The crew tried to contact Vince for a follow-up and he continued to duck and dodge them, but they were able to get a hold of Liz, and that's good because that's who we really want to hear from anyways. Liz looks beautiful, she looks happy, and she says that she has not spoken to Vince. She completely cut all ties with him.
I cut all ties with him.
And thank God for that. The guys then have this cute comedic moment, which I absolutely love.
If you can figure out how to get rid of things that don't make you happy, then you gotta do it.
Liz says that she is already talking to somebody new, and I hope she fully gets the love that crusty, dusty, busty Vince denied her. This episode was a mess. Vince, you suck. Liz, I hope you found love. Miranda, I also hope you found love within yourself. Max was really heated, and the more that I watch the episodes leading up to his departure, the more I understand why he left, because this would have pissed me off too. What do you mean I took time away from my wife and my kids for you to be lying and a cheater? It's a no from me, dog. If you made it all the way to the end of the episode, put a red flag down in the comments for Vince, okay? If you liked the video, then make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you're aware of every single time that I upload. If there's another episode you'd like to see me cover, another show, another series you'd like to see me cover, you can drop it down in the comments below, or you can leave me a DM here on Instagram. I love chatting with y'all over there. Y'all got me real good the other day when I posted a little poll because someone said that I look like Neve, and almost 50% of y'all said I look like Neve, and I just remembered that y'all are a bunch of trolls, okay? I love you, but you're a bunch of trolls. But yes, we have fun over there on Instagram, so come meet me over there. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings, and your opinions down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video, besties.